Basically, for me, I did on the Kiva questions. So the data was the Kiva data and extracting the dates. And then in grouping, list the top 10 nations, question 2. So we used group by, and I named them top 10 questions. And then I picked by country and the loan amount.
Nice, this is nice.
And then we did summing, so that we sum all the amounts together and then set the index to so that you can pick 0 to 9. So these are the top 10 nations because now I used the head after getting the data, I did by head, so to get the top 10 nations.
Okay.
And then after doing this, now I did now plot the same top 10 nations using Seaborn.
Okay, okay.
And then now this how it comes, the top 10 nations. So showing by country and the loan amount. And so I just did the amount to be shown here in terms of millions. So we have Philippines, Kenya, United States, and basically marked down here to show that the top 10 nations based on the loan amount, with the Philippines, Kenya, and United States as the top 3. Then question 3 was which sector has the greatest number of loans? So again, I did the Kiva and the Kiva data and did the value count in terms of, because it has the greatest number of loans. So this was now in terms of the loans that they've taken. So after that, I also did the resetting of the index so that it can just be arranged properly. And they're arranged by ID. And on this one again, I did, I think a Seaborn also plot just to show which ones are the greatest loans. And you can see clearly from the graphs is agriculture, food, and 3 the top ones. So also just mark down here that agriculture, food, retail, and services are the greatest number of loans. Then question 4 was using value counts, counting the number of times each sector appears in the data set. So again, this question was related to 3 because in terms of counting the number of loans, it was actually by ID. And so even in terms of sectors, how it appears, it will also be the same thing because now I did to count the sector. Question 3 was counting the ID and question 4 was actually counting the sector itself. So they're almost the same. So even the graphs will appear the same. So question 4 again went ahead to ask, and does this reflect the total amount of loans a sector gets? So here what I did is because I've already done the value count in question 3, so I went now down to look at the loans in each sector.
In terms of sum, okay.
In terms of sum. So, and since we have agriculture, loan and retail, so, and in comparison to these here, where we have agriculture, retail, and food and retail, so I did a bit of writing here and I said, while agriculture, food, and retail services have high number of appearance, the most in dataset, as well as the loan amounts, respectively. Clothing has a loan amount that's second than personal loan and housing, but appears less in the data than the two. So you see, like here we have services and clothing coming in number 4 and number 5, respectively. But if you go to the loan amount, we have services and personal coming in. So clothing does not appear here. It comes almost number 6.
Okay, so that is actually exactly what I was trying to bring out with that question. Okay.
Yes. So basically, it does not follow each other. As much as the first 3 will follow each other, 4, 5, and the rest does not follow each other in terms of amount. And you can see even arts even comes in around number 7, whereas in terms of how it appears, it's actually the last one. So it's not actually,
Yeah.
So basically, that's
very good for noting that observation. That's what I wanted to come out from that question.
Sure, thank you. Then on question 5, which sector has the largest amount of loan amount? Now, this one also related to the above in terms of loan amount. But what I did here separately, instead of now using the bar plots, I decided to explore more and do
pie charts.
And I did the pie chart now using the still it's plotly. But now so, in terms of instead of using px.bar, I use px.py.
Okay.
And then I gave it the amount, and then I did a bit of reading, and I got that you have to update now this using traces.
Yeah, to make some changes
all this. Yes, and also the layout now that it shows now basically this. And this one actually usually, because the pie chart automatically will show you in graphs, and from here you can easily see that agriculture has the largest loan amount of 143 million, translating to 25%. Followed by food and retail at 21 and 17% respectively. So basically just showing in terms of percentages the entire loan.
Okay.
Yes. Then question 6 was on which sectors are the most borrowers in the top nation. So first of all is I got the top nation, just like I did in question 2. And the top nation now is Philippines. And now from Philippines, now I picked now the data, because it's asking which sectors. So I went from Philippines and now picked now the sectors in Philippines. Which sectors are the greatest. And so I got this data, DF Philippines, separated by sector value counts to count the values in each sector. And then now what I did again, I did what we call a pie chart, but the one that is cut off. So because of these smaller values. And the cutting off, I use this what we call the cufflinks.
Cufflinks, okay, very good.
Yeah. So the cufflinks is done that will be not separate so that you can have separate entities. And the cufflinks, you can decide now to have this what we call the pool. And the pool tells you like here now I've pulled the first, second, and third. So it's basically pulled this 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
First 3, yeah.
So
if I add another one here, it will pull the fourth one.
Okay.
Yes. So if I add just another one like here 0.1, for example, and I run, it will pull the fourth one again. You see, it's pulled this one. Yeah. So
can I ask a question?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Yeah, is there a way to like move now the 33.4% outside so that it's clearer, or to label it next to it? Like, like the way you put your hover, or Fiona can answer, when you put your hover at 33.4%, yeah, is there a way of making that stay there, Fiona?
I will have to find out about that. I'll find out about it and get back to you.
Okay. Or the hover, you want the hover to stay
here?
Yeah,
the hover like that, so that
it
reads really nicely and it's really...
I don't know, maybe we can explore that. But this one I found out because I wanted to have separate things. This one and this one to be a bit separate. Yeah, just trying to out things. So
that's okay. That's okay. I'll try to find out about it and get back to you guys.
No problem. So this is the issue of the pool. So it separates these ones, or some maybe you want to pull out a specific. If you want to pull out a specific, item, let's say wholesale, then now you can put 000 here, and then out to the last one you put the 14th one. You put now like 0.1 or 0.2. Then it will pull out specifically that one. So you just have to use these numbers.
All right.
So that was it. Yeah. Then on question 7 was select all the data points. Now this one, because I choose Israel, so I decided to from the data. So I just decided to say Israel. Select all the data points from Israel by group, by region, and compute the total loan amount by each region. Which region has the highest loan amount? So I pulled the data Israel first from the Kiva data, and I named it Israel. So this is what we got from Israel. And then from this one now, from Israel now, I picked now the regions. So I said region.df is equals now Israel group by region and the loan amount and the loan lend account. And then I summed it up and resetting everything to the index to start from 0.
Yeah.
So you get Negev, Beersheba, and Jerusalem and surrounding areas are the top 3 in terms of loan amount and also lend account. If you look at it necessarily. Although Jerusalem in terms of count is higher than Beersheba from the lend account.
Okay, very good to note such things.
Basically asking which region has the highest loans. Yes. So what I did now the bar chart and just like the previous one, and it shows clearly that Negev, Beersheba, and Jerusalem and the surrounding areas get the highest loan amounts in 10, 104, 60, and 57 respectively. Basically, so I was just trying a mix of pie charts, bar plots, and
that was the idea. I wanted you to try out everything that you can, so that in the event you get to a position, you can only use a pie chart. At least you have an idea of what to do.
Yes. Then question 8 was list the categories of borrowers from Israel. I got a bit confused with this one, but now I picked the categories to be the gender. I don't know if that was the correct one. So I don't know what categories.
That's okay.
I didn't know what to look at this. So I picked the gender as the categories of borrowers. So I said Israel group by borrower gender, loan amount, Then I did sort. So I found this to be female took loans amounting to around 665, and the male actually around 25,000. And here I tried a donut chart now. Although it didn't come out clearly, because you can see clearly it doesn't have the legend. It doesn't show you don't know what 96 is, and you don't know what this 3.6% is. This one I struggled a bit, but just something to explore more.
Okay, at least you know about it. This is also subject to the data. This is very little data. If you had some more pie chart portions, it will come out a bit clearer, but this is fine.
Yeah, but again, maybe you'll just
there's someone who's asking a question, Caspah.
Yeah. What instances would you use this donut chart?
So in donut.
And another question, like the way Caspah separated the pie chart, like you pulled out, is it possible to also pull out from the donut chart?
Not sure. For me, at least, I was just trying out things and reading a lot. So I'm not sure if it can still be possible. You can see, like, I struggled here when you to get the legend, because it doesn't even have the legend, because I was still trying. I tried the legend the way we do with the bar charts and the pie chart, but refused.
Might not work. For this one, it might not
so
work.
Maybe this one is something that Fiona can take us through.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take note of that. So donut charts, I'll take note of that.
Yeah. So thank you. Then question 9 was
question 9, I know it was concerning visualization.
Yeah, merge equivalence and MPI region locations using the new data sets that has latitude and longitude, and then visualize the coordinates. So what I did is I read in the MPI data, which is here, and this is it, showing clearly the latitude and longitude. Then I merged now with the Kiva loan. Then based on the country.
Okay.
Then I just did 3 of them because the data was so big.
Just to see what was happening.
Yeah, and this one
so
comes
just before you continue,
Yeah.
I hope you guys can see the column names. There's ID, funded amount, loan amount, activity sector, use, country code, country, and then there's region X. And when you scroll along, you're likely to find region Y. So that has come about because of the pd.merge. So when we went through this, I told you guys at your own time, kindly look at it, because the idea of region X and region Y suggests that there's one country in one data set, but it's not in the other data set that you're trying to merge it with, but it's still going to show you a result. So you have to be very careful about pd.merge. The resulting columns, region X, region Y, you have to know how to be able to read that. So at your own time, again, kindly be very careful about pd merge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So in this, so in this scenario, you only need to merge with the correct column.
No, it's fine. The way it is, it's okay because of what you're trying to do. You're not really worried about that. But generally, you can see that it's giving you some extra columns. It's not going to give you the column region. It's going to give you region X and region Y. So region X suggests that data was found in the first data frame, and then region Y suggests that data was found in the second data frame, because you're trying to merge 2 data frames. So it's going to now to be up to you to understand this. So you have an extra column as opposed to what you had before. So you have to be very careful about that, so that you can also understand which data has come from which data set, and then you can decide what kind of merging you want to perform.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is
thank
fine.
you. Okay. So this one was to visualize the coordinates. So the first thing that I did, you realize here I did 2 things. The first one I had done before you showed us the issue of the map box. So online I had found this, which is just px_scatter.mapbox, and then you just put in all these things. So it gives you something similar like this, although it doesn't really come out clearly. And because here I think I was using, I don't know if because I was using Israel or what, it only shows you data up to this point. So it doesn't show you much in terms of, unless you expand. So this is the limitation I found with using this px.scatter mapbox. So I just wanted to leave it here so that at least maybe my colleagues could see the limitation of this one, although still it shows you the entire world in terms of where the data is, but some points clearly doesn't show you. It only shows you around here. So I think maybe because of my margin or some things.
Yeah, because I can see you. Okay. But that's okay, that's fine. At least you've noted there's something there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then after your class now is now when we put this using clearly the tokens, and then inputting this data using theme. So, and I did for Israel for my case, and this is what I got. And I centered it around Jerusalem. First, maybe because I just love Jerusalem, and second, because in my data up here, we saw there was Negev, Beersheba, and Jerusalem having the most of the data in terms of loan amounts. So that's why here now I decided to center around Jerusalem and the environs. So if we expand this, you'll see these areas here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that.
Okay. I see.
And then question 10 was merge Kiva loans and theme IDs. Which theme has the highest loan amounts, and which themes have the largest loan in dollar form? So when I did this question, I think I did it in 2 parts. First, I did it with theme IDs, and theme IDs are these ones. And you can see that theme IDs, you have like these two, the first two, and under still the same theme type, which is general. So I decided instead of using the theme ID, I'll go ahead and now use the theme loans, because
the loan ID.
The theme loan ID type. Because if you use what I noticed, like these two are the same loan IDs, different, but they're still under the same loan type, which is general. If you look at it here, same to these two, they're different in terms of loan IDs, but they're still under higher education. Yeah. So for observing that, now I decided now to do loan theme ID. Yeah. And you can see here clearly, like I said, like if you follow the loan IDs, this WFOQ has the highest number of loans, followed by ZX8 from here. That is if you're following the loan theme loan IDs. So I decided now to also look now at the loan theme
types.
Yes, now which will now combine most of these into one now in terms of the general and this and underserved, agriculture and all that.
So after doing that,
yeah, now this is in terms of counts, in terms of the counts, this appears more underserved. And the second one now is in terms of the loan amount. You can see still general, underserved still have still up. Agriculture comes third in terms of loan count. But in terms of loan amount, it comes in number 5. So this is something else. So it's not the same.
It's not the same. Yeah.
Then what I decided to do here was So just decided to do 3 things here. First, I just wanted to do a scatter plot and see how it appears. And you can see general here appears bigger, and then they're followed by underserved. Then the rest are just smaller.
Yeah.
In terms of loan amount, yes. Then I also decided to do a bar plot just to see how it appears, different from the one for Seaborn. So just to see different, And because this one was here, I put something that I put here that's called legend false. Because if I don't put this legend false, let me just show you guys what I noticed. If I run this one like this, it will run and this one will still appear here, the legend. But why I put false is because I didn't want this to appear yet. This one is also appearing here. It's already showing general. This is general. This is underserved. So there was no need for me again to show the loan theme. So I decided to put here this update fig layout, show legend false. So that it removes the legend, and also the plot itself becomes bigger. Yeah. So that's what I did. And finally, I got something here in terms of just inputting. If you just want to show who did your work or something, I just put a link here from my LinkedIn. Yeah, just
LinkedIn.
To show.
Correct. So
somebody clicks here, it takes you to LinkedIn profile. So just that. Thank you.